The city hospital woke up before the sun that morning. The halls were already full of quick footsteps and low voices. Nurses moved from room to room with clipboards in their hands. Families sat close together in the waiting area with tired eyes. The air smelled like clean soap and warm coffee. Outside the glass doors the wind pushed cold air across the parking lot. Inside the building everything felt bright and busy. Near the entrance a security guard named Sam stood at his desk. He watched people come in and out and he tried to keep order. A receptionist named Mira checked names and answered phones. A few people complained about the long wait and Mira stayed calm. The automatic doors opened again and again as the morning rush continued. No one expected anything unusual to happen. Then the doors opened and a large German shepherd walked inside. His fur was thick and slightly wet from the cold air outside. His paws made soft sounds on the clean floor. He did not run and he did not act wild. He walked with a steady pace as if he had a clear plan. People in the waiting room turned their heads at the same time. A woman held her child closer and a man stood up in surprise. Sam moved from behind his desk and took a step forward. Right beside the dog a young girl walked slowly. She looked around 8 years old and she seemed exhausted. Her jacket was torn and her hair was messy. One side of her sleeve was dark and stained. Her face was pale and her lips were dry. She kept one hand on the dog's fur as if it was the only thing keeping her upright. Her steps were small and shaky. The dog stayed very close to her. He matched her slow pace like he was guiding her. His ears were up and his eyes were focused. He looked at the people around him and then looked back at the girl. He seemed careful and protective. The girl took a few more steps into the lobby. Her knees suddenly bent and her body started to sink. Before she could fall the dog pressed his side against her. His strong body acted like a wall that held her up. The girl leaned on him and tried to breathe. The dog let out a low sound that carried worry and urgency. It was not loud but it made people react. Mira left her desk and hurried forward. Sam paused because he could see the dog was not attacking. A nurse named Anna came out of a hallway with a tray in her hands. She saw the girl and dropped everything to the counter. She ran to the child and knelt down on the floor. She kept her voice gentle and steady. She looked at the girl's face and then at the stained sleeve. She could tell the child needed help fast. Anna told Sam to call the emergency team right away. Sam grabbed his radio and spoke quickly. Mira moved the chairs back to clear space. 2 visitors stepped aside without being asked. The girl tried to speak, but her voice was weak. Anna held the girl's shoulder lightly to keep her calm. The dog stayed close and did not move away. Doctors rushed in within moments with a wheelchair. A doctor named Dr. Lee asked Anna what happened. Anna explained that the girl walked in with the dog and she looked hurt. Dr. Lee signaled for another nurse to bring supplies. They tried to lift the girl into the wheelchair. The German shepherd stepped forward and blocked the movement. For a second the room went silent. The dog's body became tense and his eyes stayed fixed on the hands reaching toward the girl. He did not snap and he did not bark. He simply stood in the way like a guard. Anna did not panic, and she did not shout. She slowly raised one hand and spoke softly. Anna told the dog that they were going to help the girl. She kept her tone calm and respectful. The dog looked at Anna and then looked at the girl. The girl lifted her hand and touched the dog's head. She gave a small nod as if she understood what was happening. Only then did the dog step aside and allow the doctors to move her. The girl was placed into the wheelchair and rolled toward the emergency room. The German shepherd followed immediately. A staff member tried to stop him at the hallway entrance. The dog did not listen and did not back away. He stayed close to the wheelchair as if he was tied to it by invisible rope. Dr. Lee glanced at the dog and then at the girl. Dr. Lee decided the dog could follow for the moment. Inside the treatment room the nurses worked fast. They checked the girl's pulse and her breathing. They cleaned her arm and examined the injury. The girl winced but she stayed quiet. Anna stayed near her head and spoke in a soothing voice. She told the girl she was safe now. The dog stood near the door with his head slightly lowered. The German Shepherd did not try to jump on the bed. He did not run around the room. He watched every movement the doctors made. His eyes followed the hands that held bandages and tools. He looked serious and alert, like he was standing watch. When the girl shifted on the bed, he moved one step closer. When she relaxed, he stepped back again. Dr. Lee asked the girl for her name. The girl whispered that her name was Nina. Dr. Lee asked where her parents were. Nina tried to answer, but her eyes fluttered. She seemed tired and confused. Anna asked Nina to rest and save her strength. Nina squeezed Anna's hand for a second. The dog let out a soft breath as if he understood. While the nurses worked, Sam checked the entrance cameras. He wanted to know how the dog and the girl arrived. Mira called nearby clinics and shelters to see if anyone reported a missing child. Nobody had answers yet. The hospital staff looked at each other with growing concern. A child did not usually arrive like this. A dog did not usually lead a child into a hospital with such purpose. Anna noticed something on the dog's collar. It was not a normal collar with a simple tag. It looked like a working collar with sturdy material. A small piece of fabric was attached near the buckle. Anna leaned closer and read the letters on it. The letters suggested the dog belonged to a trained group. Anna felt a chill because it meant the dog might have been trained for serious situations. Dr. Lee asked if the dog had an owner nearby. No one came forward. The dog remained calm and did not pull away. It was as if he had brought Nina to the only place that could save her. The staff began to understand that this was not an accident. Something happened out there in the cold morning. The dog and the girl had not come by chance. As the first bandages were placed and the room settled slightly, Nina opened her eyes again. She looked at the dog and reached toward him. The German Shepherd stepped closer and allowed her hand to rest on his fur. Nina's breathing became steadier. Anna watched this and felt her throat tighten with emotion. She had seen many hard days in the hospital, but this moment felt different. Outside the treatment room, more staff gathered quietly. People whispered about how the dog walked in like he knew the way. Some wondered if the dog had been searching for help for hours. Others wondered why a child was alone in such a condition. Sam kept checking the doors in case someone came looking for Nina. Mira kept calling numbers and writing notes. The hospital was full of questions and no clear answers. Anna stayed with Nina and spoke gently about safe things. She told Nina that the doctors would take care of her. She told Nina that she was brave for making it here. Nina tried to smile, but she was too tired. The German Shepherd remained close and steady. His presence seemed to give Nina courage. Dr. Lee stepped out of the room and spoke quietly to Anna. He said Nina would need more tests and careful care. He said they needed to understand how she got hurt and why she was alone. Anna nodded and looked back through the doorway. She saw Nina holding the dog's fur like a lifeline. She saw the dog watching Nina like a promise. In that moment, Anna realized the hospital had just received more than a patient. It had received a mystery that would not end with bandages and medicine. The dog had brought Nina here for a reason. Whatever happened before they entered those doors was still out there waiting to be discovered. And the truth behind their arrival would soon change the lives of everyone who chose to help them. The emergency room slowly became quieter as the first rush passed. The doctors finished the first round of care and Nina was moved to a clean bed. Soft blankets were placed over her and warm lights filled the room. Machines made gentle sounds as they checked her breathing and heartbeat. Nina looked calmer now, but she was still weak. The German Shepherd lay down beside the bed without being told. His head rested near Nina's hand and his eyes stayed open. He did not sleep and he did not relax fully. Every sound made his ears move. Every step in the hallway caught his attention. The staff noticed that the dog behaved like someone trained to protect. Anna sat near Nina and kept watch. She spoke quietly and told Nina she was doing well. Nina listened, but her eyes slowly closed. Her breathing became slow and steady. Anna gently checked her arm and made sure the bandage stayed clean. She noticed that the wound looked old but also recent, which confused her. Dr. Lee met Sam and Mira outside the room. He asked Sam if the cameras showed anything useful. Sam explained that the footage showed the dog and Nina walking straight to the door from the street. There was no adult with them and no car nearby. Mira said none of the calls had given answers yet. No one reported a missing child that matched Nina. Dr. Lee frowned and crossed his arms. He said it was strange, but they needed to focus on Nina first. He asked Mira to keep trying shelters and nearby schools. He asked Sam to contact local animal services carefully. Sam nodded, but said the dog did not seem like a stray. Later that morning, Nina slowly woke up. Her eyes opened, and she looked around the room. For a moment fear crossed her face. Then she saw the German shepherd and relaxed. She reached out and touched his fur. The dog lifted his head and leaned closer. Anna smiled softly and asked Nina how she felt. Nina whispered that she was tired. Anna asked if Nina remembered where she came from. Nina nodded slightly but did not speak right away. The dog stayed still like he was listening too. Nina finally spoke in a low voice. She said she was in an old building near the river. She said she fell and could not walk well. She said the dog stayed with her all night. Anna listened closely and did not interrupt. Nina explained that she was scared and cold. She said the dog kept her warm by lying close. She said when the sun came up the dog helped her stand. She said he guided her through streets she did not know. Anna felt a tight feeling in her chest as she listened. Anna asked Nina where her family was. Nina looked away and her face changed. She said she lived with people who did not care. She said she ran away when she got hurt because she was afraid. Anna did not push her to say more. Dr. Lee joined them quietly and thanked Nina for speaking. He told her she was safe now. He told her she did the right thing by coming. Nina nodded and closed her eyes again. Outside the room, Sam watched the dog through the glass. He had seen many animals in trouble before, but never one like this. The dog showed no fear and no confusion. He acted like he knew exactly why he was there. Sam wondered who trained him and where he came from. Mira returned with new information. She said a small rescue group near the river had reported an abandoned building used by people who avoided attention. She said there were rumors of unsafe conditions there. Dr. Lee listened carefully and thanked her. Later, animal services arrived quietly. A woman named Rosa approached the dog slowly. She knelt down and spoke gently. The dog watched her closely but did not move away. Rosa noticed the working collar and recognized the type. She said the dog looked like a trained service or rescue dog. Rosa scanned the collar and found an old code. It led to a closed program that trained dogs for search and protection. The program had shut down years ago. No active owner was listed. Everyone was surprised. Anna shared this information with Dr. Lee. They both realized the dog might have been separated from his handler long ago. Yet he still remembered his duty. He still chose to protect a child in danger. Nina woke up again later and asked for water. Anna helped her drink slowly. Nina then asked if the dog would have to leave. Anna promised that no one would take him away from her right now. Nina relaxed and held onto the blanket. The German shepherd stood up and moved closer to the bed. He placed his head gently near Nina's arm. The room felt calm again. Nurses passing by slowed their steps. Something about the bond between the child and the dog filled the space with quiet strength. Dr. Lee spoke with hospital staff about next steps. He said Nina would need time to heal and a safe place to go. He said they needed to protect her from whatever she ran from. Everyone agreed. As the day moved forward, the hospital returned to its normal rhythm. Yet this room felt different. People who entered spoke softly. They treated the moment with care. Anna stood by the window and looked outside. She thought about how many people walked past others in need without seeing them. She thought about how a dog noticed when humans failed. That evening Nina slept deeply for the first time. The German Shepherd stayed beside her bed without moving. His eyes finally closed for a short while. For the first time since arriving, he allowed himself to rest. No one knew what would happen next. But one thing was certain. Nina had been guided to safety by more than instinct. She had been protected by loyalty that refused to give up. And the truth behind her past was about to come into the light. Morning light entered the hospital room through the tall window. The sound of distant footsteps and rolling carts filled the hallway. Nina slowly opened her eyes and looked around. For a moment she forgot where she was. Then she saw the German Shepherd lying beside her bed. Her breathing became calm again. The dog lifted his head when Nina moved. His eyes softened as he saw her awake. He stood up and stretched quietly. Then he stepped closer so Nina could touch him. Nina smiled faintly and rested her hand on his warm fur. Anna entered the room with a small tray. She greeted Nina with a gentle voice. She checked her temperature and asked how she felt. Nina said she felt a little stronger but still tired. Anna told her that rest was helping her body heal. Dr. Lee arrived shortly after. He reviewed the charts and nodded with relief. He said Nina was improving and that the wound was responding well to care. Nina listened quietly while holding onto the blanket. The dog remained still and alert. Dr. Lee asked Nina if she remembered more about the place near the river. Nina looked at the wall and thought for a long moment. She then said the building was old and broken. She said there were loud voices and many people she did not trust. She said she felt scared there even before she got hurt. Anna sat beside Nina and encouraged her gently. Nina said she had been there for a short time after leaving another place. She said she did not feel safe anywhere. The words came slowly and carefully. The German Shepherd reacted when Nina spoke about fear. His ears moved and his body leaned closer. It was as if he remembered that place too. Anna noticed this and exchanged a look with Dr. Lee. Later that day, Rosa returned to check on the dog. She brought records from the closed training program. She explained that dogs from that group were trained to find people in danger and stay with them until help arrived. She said the dog behavior matched that training exactly. Rosa said the program ended suddenly years ago due to lack of support. Many dogs were placed in homes but some records were incomplete. This dog had no clear trail after that time. Rosa believed he survived on his own while holding onto his purpose. Sam joined them and listened carefully. He said the dog walked into the hospital like he knew the building. Rosa nodded and said trained dogs remembered layouts quickly. She said he may have visited hospitals before with a handler. Nina listened quietly from the bed. She looked at the dog and then at Anna. She asked if the dog would stay with her. Anna smiled and said they would do everything they could. As hours passed, Nina became more comfortable speaking. She told Anna that she met the dog the night she was hurt. She said she was crying and sitting alone. She said the dog appeared from the darkness and did not scare her. She said he sat near her and waited. Nina said she tried to walk but fell again. She said the dog pushed gently against her to help her stand. She said he guided her step by step. Her voice trembled when she described the long walk through empty streets. Anna felt tears rise but she stayed calm. She praised Nina for being brave. Nina looked down and said she just followed the dog. Outside the room, officials spoke quietly. They discussed how to ensure Nina's safety after recovery. They agreed she could not return to the places she described. They decided to involve caring services that focused on protection and healing. When Nina overheard part of the discussion, she became anxious. The dog sensed it immediately and stood up. He placed himself between Nina and the doorway. His body language was calm but firm. Anna reassured Nina and explained that everyone wanted to help her. She said Nina would have a safe place. Nina slowly relaxed again. The dog sat down once more and rested his head near her leg. That afternoon Nina was taken for gentle scans. The German shepherd walked beside the bed through the hall. People stopped and watched quietly. Some smiled and some shook their heads in disbelief. One nurse whispered that she never saw anything like it. Another said it felt like watching loyalty in motion. Back in the room, Nina rested again. Anna sat nearby and wrote notes. She thought about how easily Nina could have been missed by the world. She thought about how a dog noticed her pain and chose to act. As evening approached, the sky outside turned orange. Nina woke and asked Anna a question that surprised her. Nina asked if the dog had a name. Anna said she did not know. Nina thought for a moment and said she wanted to call him Max. The dog lifted his head when Nina spoke the name. His tail moved slightly. Everyone noticed. Anna smiled and said it seemed like a good name. From that moment Nina called him Max. Each time she said it, the dog responded with quiet attention. The bond between them grew stronger. Dr. Lee visited again and said Nina would likely recover fully with time. He said her strength amazed him. Nina said Max gave her strength. That night the hospital room felt peaceful. Nina slept deeply. Max lay beside her with his body facing the door. Anna stood quietly and watched them. She realized that whatever happened next would change many lives. The truth about Nina passed, and Max's journey was slowly forming. And soon it would reach far beyond the hospital walls. The final days at the hospital passed quietly and carefully. Nina grew stronger with each morning that came. She could sit up on her own and take a few careful steps with help. Her face slowly gained color again. The fear that once lived in her eyes began to fade. Max never left her side. He followed her during short walks in the hallway. He waited patiently during checkups. He slept lightly beside her bed each night. The staff no longer questioned his presence. He had become part of the room like the light and the air. Anna noticed how Nina smiled more when Max was near. Nina spoke more freely and laughed softly at small things. She talked about simple dreams like having a quiet room and warm food. She said she wanted to go to school and learn without fear. Dr. Lee confirmed that Nina's injuries were healing well. He said she would not need surgery. He said time and care would complete her recovery. Everyone felt relief. A special meeting was arranged with caring services. Gentle voices filled the room as plans were discussed. The goal was clear and simple. Nina needed safety and stability. She needed people who would protect her future. Nina listened while holding Max's fur. She did not interrupt. When she was asked how she felt, she said she trusted the people who helped her. She said she trusted Max the most. Rosa returned one last time with news. She said the training program that Max came from had records of handlers who once worked near the river area. One handler was listed as missing years ago. The dog description matched Max closely. It explained why he stayed alert and focused. Rosa said Max likely waited for a long time with no guidance. She believed he chose Nina because he recognized danger and loneliness. She said it was rare but not impossible. Anna felt deep respect as she listened. She realized Max was not just a helper. He was a survivor too. After careful discussion, a decision was made. Nina would be placed with a caring family that specialized in healing and patience. Max would stay with her under official approval. No one argued against it. Everyone had seen their bond. When Nina heard the decision, her eyes filled with tears. She hugged Max tightly. Max leaned into her and stayed still. The room felt warm and full. The day of discharge arrived quietly. Nina wore clean clothes and held a small bag of her things. Anna walked beside her. Dr. Lee gave final instructions with a smile. As Nina stepped outside the hospital doors, the sun touched her face. She paused and looked back at the building. She remembered the fear from the first day and felt how far she had come. Max walked beside her with calm confidence. His tail moved gently. He looked forward and did not hesitate. The new home waited not far away. It was quiet and welcoming. The family greeted Nina with kindness and respect. They greeted Max with patience and trust. That first night Nina slept peacefully in a clean bed. Max lay beside her as always. No shadows frightened her. No loud sounds made her hide. Days turned into weeks. Nina began attending school again. She made friends slowly. Max waited outside classrooms and greeted her with joy each afternoon. People often stopped to watch them walk together. Some smiled. Some asked questions. Nina answered with pride. She said Max saved her life. At home Nina learned to laugh again. She learned to feel safe. She learned that care could be gentle and steady. Max aged gracefully but never lost his purpose. He watched over Nina like a quiet promise. He rested more but stayed alert when she needed him. Anna received letters from Nina with drawings and simple words. Each letter ended the same way. Nina always wrote that Max was doing well. Dr. Lee sometimes spoke of the story to new staff. He said medicine healed bodies but loyalty healed souls. The city moved on with its noise and rush. But somewhere within it a girl and her dog found peace. Max once walked into a hospital carrying hope on 4 legs. Nina once followed him through fear into safety. Their story did not end with that first step through the doors. It continued with trust and courage and quiet love. And for everyone who witnessed it, the lesson stayed clear. Sometimes help arrives in the form of loyalty that refuses to turn away.